One morning year ago, an angry customer stormed into the office of Julian F. Detmer, founder of the Detmer Woolen Company, which later became the world's largest distributor of woolens to the tailoring trade. This man owed us a small sum of money. Mr. Detmer explained to me. The customer denied it, but we knew he was wrong, so our credit department has insisted that he pay. After getting a number of letters from our credit department, he packed his grief and made a trip to Chicago and hurried into my office to inform me not only that he was not going to pay that bills, but that he was never going to buy another dollar's worth of goods from the Detmer Woolen Company. I listened patiently to all the he had to say. He was tempted to interrupt, but I realized that I would be bad policies, so I let him talk himself out. When he finally simmered down and got it in receptive mode, I said quietly, I want to thank you. Thank you for coming to Chicago to tell me about this. You have done me a great favor for it. If our credit department has annoyed you, it may annoy other good customer, and that would be just too bad. Believe me, I am far more eager to hear this than you are to tell it. That was the last thing in the world he expected me to say. I think he was a trifle disappointed because he had come to Chicago to tell me things or the two, but here I was thanking him instead of escaping with him. I assured him we would wipe that charge off the books and forget it because he was very careful man and with only one account to look after while our clerks had to look after thousands. Therefore he was less likely to be wrong than we were. I told him that I understood exactly how he felt and that if I were in his shoes, I should undoubtedly feel precious as he did. Since he wasn't going to buy from us anymore, I recommended some of the woolen house. In the past we had usually lunch together when we came to Chicago, so I invited him to have a lunch with me this day. He accepted a reluctantly, but when we came back to the office, he placed a larger order than ever before. He returned home in the Stockton mood and wanting to be the just affair with us, and we had been with him, looked over his bills, found on that we had been misled, and sent us a check with his apologies. Later, when his wife presented him with a baby boy, he gave his son the middle name of Detmer, and he remained a friend and customer of the house until his death 22 years afterward. Isaac F. Emerson, Marcusson, a journalist who interviewed hundreds of celebrities, declared that many people fail to make a favorable impression because they don't listen attentively. They have been so much concerned with that they are going to say next that they do not keep their ears open. Very important people have told me that they prefer good listening to sell a good listener to good talkers about the ability to listen seem rarer than almost any other good trait. And not only important personage crave a good listener, but ordinary folk do too. As the Reader Digest once said, many persons call a doctor when all they want is an audience. During the darkest hour of the Civil War, Lincoln wrote an old friend in Springfield, Illinois, asking him to come to Washington. Lincoln said he had some problem he wanted to discuss with him. The old neighbor called at the White House and Lincoln talked to him for hours about the advisability of issuing a proclamation freeing the slaves. Lincoln went over all the argument for and against such a move, and then read letters and newspaper articles, some denouncing him for not freeing the slaves, and other denouncing him for a fear he was going to free them. After talking for an hour, Lincoln shook hands with his old neighbor and said good night, and sent him back to the Lions without even asking for his opinion. Lincoln had done all the talking himself. That seemed to clarify his mind. He seemed to feel easier after the talk. The old friend said Lincoln hadn't wanted advice. He had wanted merely a friendly, sympathetic listener to whom he could unburden himself. That's why we all want when we are in trouble. That's frequently all the irritated customer wants, and the dissatisfied employee or the hurt friend.